right, welcome once again. It's another very beautiful day. It's Thursday, the 29th of October in the year 2015. Welcome once again to our studio all the way in Lagos. This is Cool TV, channel 196 and Star Times. Welcome to Crossfire. Now, today we definitely will be taking you through a couple of stories, the type that you'll be interested in. And don't forget, Crossfire is your show. It's our show. You can call in and be part of the show. Let us know exactly what you feel about some of the stories we'll be bringing your way. I'm not alone here. I have Ishoma Againe joining us. Ishoma, good morning. Good to have you back again.
Good morning, Nigeria, and welcome. And I apologize for being away yesterday.
All right, we're not alone in the studio. Why Ishoma is back. We have Professor joining us in the studio to run the show today. Let's welcome Professor Chris Nwaokobia. Good to have you.
Pleasure to be here.
Good to have you back in the studio, Prof. Now, let's quickly run one or two stories, but we definitely will be taking you back to the completion of the screening of the ministerial nominees, and then what next? When exactly is the presidency releasing the portfolios according to the names of the minister? And so we definitely will be looking at that, and then we take you through the various election petitions that are ongoing, the judgment, and what the Chief Justice of Nigeria is saying that people should do to judges who probably are suspected of misconduct or misdemeanor or one way or the other if you are not very satisfied with whatever judgment that you have gotten. All right, that's going to be our show today. But then let's quickly go into a few stories that we quickly will bring your way, and then we can go into the weightier matters. All right, Army declares 100, Boko Haram chiefs wanted. Let me quickly give you a brief. Now, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Brutai, has declared 100 members of the Boko Haram sect wanted. He said their arrest will help in the final push against the terrorists in the northeast. Now, it is very obvious to Nigerians that the activities of the Boko Haram has not particularly reduced in the northeastern part of Nigeria. Almost on every day basis or every other day at the very most, we still have them really perpetrate one level of evil or the other, still killing people, bombings and all of that. Last night, it was still another very sad event where 13 people, where 13 people have been killed. And this is really very, terrible. This is in Niger State. And that's to tell you that the activities is not only limited to the northeastern part of Nigeria. They are actually filtering through a few other, cities and towns and villages and states. But my question will be, to talk about this. Do you think, and I keep asking, that we are actually winning this war against Boko Haram?
Dapo, I think that the first thing to note here is that it's sad and saddening that after months of our new regime, that we still have this level of draconian and impious actions by the Haramis. I think that it is indeed worrisome, and it bothers Mr. President. Remember that last week there was a meeting between Mr. President and the service chiefs as to how to reinvigorate and re-energize and ensure that the battle against the Haramis is much more effective and frontal. I do sincerely think that rather than talk more, that is on the side of the armed forces, they should get the job done. We don't need to know whether you're declaring 50 or 100. They already wanted people. They're terrorists. They're insurgents. So they are wanted by the state. We have to deal with them. We don't need to know whether you want 100 or whether you want 150. What Nigerians want is actually peace and security. And I do sincerely think that the time has come for the armed forces to do more than they're doing now. Interestingly, 2 days ago we heard that there was a massive onslaught on the Sambisa forest. We heard that quite a sizable number of our women and sisters were rescued from the forest. And I do sincerely believe that perhaps because the Northeast is becoming very difficult for them, they're coming down southwards. But I do sincerely believe that, like I said some time ago, this is a time for massive intelligence gathering. It is not so much about the frontal offensive.
But
we must be able to follow Boko Haram intelligence effectively, monitor them effectively, and nip any such draconian actions of theirs.
Yeah, to buttress what you just said, this very particular story, the content is really, really very interesting because General Brutai spoke very extensively at the launch of the anti-Boko Haram terrorist campaign, and the materials, they actually revealed some certain information, the type that will probably help really fight or launch the anti-Boko Haram terrorist campaign. And the issue is that they released about many pictures, because the report said it displayed the photographs of the wanted men and sought public help in getting them. Now, General Brutai announced that he called, a handsome reward for any person with useful information on these wanted men. Now, for a very long time, the impression that we have is that we don't have a face to many of these guys. And this very particular one is so very interesting because photographs were released.
But this is not enough for me because. Sorry, I need to say this now, especially as regards the release of the photographs. I think it's one step, but it's not complete, because we've seen situations where some of these terrorists, because of the international support and affiliation they're getting with ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and the rest of them, they've been able to do facial change. They've altered their facial look, so they could look like any other person, but with proper fingerprint identification, they can pinpoint these individuals. But yet we do not even have that. We're talking about mounting security cameras and all of that in the north. So you can be able to get you can be able to monitor some of these issues and things, but that is not happening. So when the army comes out to say they're winning the war, I really wonder how they're winning the war. And this should call for concern.
Well, let me say this. I think that one beautiful thing that we cannot take away from them, when the Al-Qaeda offensive in America was strong, the CIA and the Pentagon went into massive infiltration of their networks, and they were able to put out their pictures, and then some they put out as much as $20 million ransom, some $5 million ransom, and the likes. I think that first, what this will do is to put them more on the run and disorganize. It's an intelligence reaction. Disorganize them more because they will now go under. Yeah. And then it will do massive damage to their collaboration and cooperative effort. Yeah. Now that's on the one hand. But I do sincerely think that if you're doing that, I haven't seen the pictures. You may have seen the pictures. So I would rather that the media, our newspapers, our tabloids, and everywhere is awash with the pictures of these people. And so even in the South, as they filtrate, people are able to identify them and then report to the police. What is important here, Dapo, is that what we owe Nigeria as a people is to unite and aggregate at that parlor where every parlor's effort that troubles our country is seen as a collective pain and pang. What do I mean? I simply think that the time has come for us as a collective to not only lampoon government in that direction, because Boko Haram and the Haramist tendencies started since 2009, and the more time creeps, the more sophisticated they become. It's all over the world. You remember there was an Al-Qaeda, and Al-Qaeda had lost efficiency, quote and unquote, and was less draconian than what we have in ISIS. ISIS is beheading people and killing people everywhere, and the sophistication of terror. Terror has never really been religious. It's been a massive business empire of villains whose tendencies are at best villainous. And that is why you heard the vice president when he said that even rich Nigerians are getting involved in insurgency. It's become business, arms trading and the likes. So what we must begin to do is massive intelligence gathering, like I said. The armed forces must do that and deepen it, quickly. Because if they don't do that, this infiltration to the South will further deepen the state of insecurity in the South. We're beginning to see the resurgence of armed robbery. We're beginning to see all kinds of draconian and bellicose tendencies in the South, Southeast. Kidnapping has become a major business. And I think that the time has come for us as a people to not only criticize government when we think the government is not doing enough, to support effort because national security and security enhancement is a collective. People have to give information to the police. People have to report suspicious environments, suspicious ambience, suspicious circumstances to the police, and ensure that ultimately we're all safe. Because what affects one directly, like my mentor Martin Luther King Jr. would say, what affects one directly affects the other indirectly. So the time has come for us to aggregate at that place and make sure that national security is a collective.
Okay, now a quick one from me in rounding up on this story is that, you know, sometimes you wonder why the coercion and the reinforcement that we have experienced in the military in recent times, especially when even the service chiefs were changed and all of that, couldn't one of the actions be Sambisa Forest on an instruction to be raised to ground zero? We are still mindful of the collateral damage because we have people there. And I'm beginning to feel...
Do not also overlook the ecological problems
we can come back, but we will leave. So that means the military still have a lot of things that is hindering them from fighting this battle the way they should fight it.
They haven't hidden that truism. The fact is that
would do more damage. Raising it down would do more damage.
Sambisa Forest.
I understand, but I'm saying that it simply is an indication that this war is not going to be won soon.
We can win the war without raising it down.
I don't think so.
Forest
I do not think so.
Let's look at this. Sambisa Forest cuts through about 5 states in the north.
Yeah.
And the ecological damage, like Ishama said, the economic damage
is damaged already.
No, wait. Yes, you cannot throw away the baby with the bathwater. What is important here is that there are several ways to handle it rather than raise it down. And that's exactly what Nigeria is doing now with the US, and then interestingly, it's part of the discussion with India. You can use drone attacks. You can use monitored and simulated operative devices. But raising down Sambisa Forest because you're looking for, maybe you don't even have up to 1,000 of them still in the forest, you know, because they've infiltrated. So let's not get emotive and emotional about it. What is important at this point is the fact that the armed forces must continue to do what it's doing and then do more of intelligence gathering. Because
but the war against, sorry to cut you short, please. The war against Boko Haram sect should not be left only to the military. And as it is right now, that is what it seems. Because if you look at it so far from our point of view, it seems that there's no proper coordination and cooperation with even the other security agencies. Where is the Air Force? Where's the SSS in all of this?
That's why people are alleging
security gathering.
That's why people are alleging interagency rivalry.
Back in the day, I grew up...
You're getting emotive because 2 days ago, the operation in Sambisa in the forest was the Air Force.
Okay, so please, where's the SSS in all of this?
No, the SSS gathers the information. They are there.
Look, I can see that they're not doing their job sufficiently.
We have established the fact that there is interagency rivalry already.
Exactly.
Now,
how did you establish that?
Okay, now it's in the public domain.
And even the area had to
let me quickly take that story.
Let
me quickly take that story. And now, saying that former Central Bank of Nigerian Governor and Emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi,
he's not a
has
security
faulted
operative.
What he called unhealthy rivalry among security agencies.
He's not a security operative.
In their fight against insurgency, saying the trend, if not checked, could derail government determination to end Boko Haram activities in December. You know, we'll continue on that story, but...
but frankly, the Emir, with the greatest sense of respect, is not a security operative.
But he's a traditional ruler. He lives.
He doesn't work with the SSS.
Okay, listen to this.
What I know.
Now, let's see what is his assertions and what the statement that he has made.
You're still reading the Emir.
Yes.
No, let's get
what
realistic.
Is it based on?
No, let's get realistic.
Hold on.
What
Prof.
we must do.
Yes.
What we must do. I think that what is important is that within the past 6 weeks, we've seen about 4 or 5 security meetings between the top brass of the Nigerian Armed Forces and Mr. President. And at no point did they come out disagreeing. What is important at this point is the fact that we locate issues properly. I do sincerely think that rather than blame the armed forces, I think that the traditional institution in the North should help. Because you see, what you must do, let's call it
In the bid to help, that's why they're coming out with their observations.
Exactly, and they need to work with the security operatives.
When Adamawa State and the likes were taking over, you know, the efforts at pushing the Haramists away was led by the local militia, and these people are closer to the traditional institution. So I think that the time has come for when the armed forces to liaise with the local institution, the traditionals too. They know who is who. Okay. So it's not about rivalry within the armed forces. It's about a collaborative dealings between the armed forces and the traditional institution in the north. Because if the emirs and the sultan and everybody who matters in the north begins to work in tandem with the SSS and the police and they gather information, you find out that the man who bombs is not a spirit. He lives amongst people.
The people.
Okay, so
let's quickly take this call. All right, good morning, Kehinde.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Thank
you
for
have you on
holding
the show.
Yeah, good morning, Japo. Good morning, Mr. Ijoma.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, I just want to make contribution to the discussion that is ongoing.
All right, please go ahead.
That for the military to have revealed the faces of the so-called Boko Haram, I think it's a tremendous improvement. If we remember the last government, they insisted that Boko Haram, they are faceless entities, that there is no way they could identify them. Yeah. But the present chief of army staff has went further. Please don't let us undermine the painstaking effort that the present military leadership is putting in place to even identify a tremendous progress that we need to commend the military armed forces for. Now, people now can be vigilant to look at, I say the Niger State, and you know, for the military to have revealed this to the public, now we have to now take cognizance look at this picture seriously and say if anybody in your neighborhood, maybe you have been seeing somebody, that's the reason why the collaboration of our traditional institutions is seriously needed at this point. Because the community needs to be aware of people in their community. And our traditional leaders need to go extra mile in supporting the military. And I believe if our traditional rulers can do this, this menace of this insurgency will be brought under our toes. And please, I want to comment on a very serious national important situation that will be taking place today in the Senate also. The Senate will be making their confirmation. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay. Now, I think that our senators should please put partisanship apart and be up at a statesmanship to do the needful. Let them put personal issues aside and let them look at Nigeria first to take their actions, because I believe these are actions that will have future implications. They should put their individual differences aside and let them focus on what Nigeria needs at this point. We need to move forward. Nigeria is backward enough. And I must commend the president that the team that he has put in place, their team of intellectuals. Yeah. I took my time to observe the screening process, and I'm proud of this team. And I just think that the Senate will do the needful, and then Nigeria as a nation will move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Kehinde. I mean, so very much insightful. Let's quickly go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll take the show to the next level. We'll be right back.
So, did you like what you just saw? I know you did. It's very simple. If you want to see more, just subscribe to our channel right now.